Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to Al Jazeera, Ukraine has launched long-range strikes deep into Russian territory, targeting a military airfield and a rocket research center that supports Russia's Starlink-style satellite internet network. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed that domestic Flamingo cruise missiles were used to hit the Progress Center facility under the Russian space agency Roscosmos, located approximately 900 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. Additionally, Ukrainian forces successfully struck the Savazlivka air base. These actions are part of Kyiv's strategic effort to diminish Russia's war potential and bring the consequences of the conflict closer to home for President Vladimir Putin. Meanwhile, Moscow has demanded clarifications from Washington and Ankara regarding reports of a potential arms transfer. The deal reportedly involves a substantial arsenal of Vidbolt Ota to substantial arsenal of Vidbolt Onkrest U.S. weapons and ammunition currently stored in Turkey being sent to Kyiv. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova warned that if the transfer proceeds, it will cause serious harm to Russia's relations with both the United States and Turkey. According to a report by Lionhe Zhaobao, the United Nations has announced an additional 30.5 million allocation from the UN Central Emergency Response Fund to tackle the rapidly escalating Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. Thomas Fletcher, the UN Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, warned that this is the fastest spreading Ebola outbreak on record, with one person dying every 30 minutes. The newly allocated funds complement a previous $24 million response fund provided to the DRC and 4 neighboring countries. Furthermore, the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs has deployed 20 additional staff members to the front lines. The expanded response plan aims to double safe burial teams, triple treatment capacities, strengthen contact tracing, and deploy more experienced managers while addressing critical needs such as clean water, sanitation, and medical services. The DRC declared the outbreak on May 15th. The World Health Organization, WHO, stated that this has become the second largest Ebola outbreak in history, and its current trajectory suggests its scale could eventually surpass the devastating 2014-2016 West African outbreak. According to Xinhuanet, the China-Europe Arctic Container Express route officially entered regular weekly operations for the summer season on Saturday. The container ship Dubai Tower departed from the Ningbo Zhoushan port in East China's Zhejiang province, marking the launch of this seasonal service. The route transits through the Northeast Arctic Passage to reach major European ports, including Felixstowe in the UK, Rotterdam in the Netherlands, Hamburg in Germany, and Gdynia in Poland. First trialed in September 2025, the Arctic shipping route completed its journey to Felixstowe in approximately 20 days. This nearly halves the transit time required via the traditional Suez Canal route and outpaces the China-Europe freight train, offering notable advantages in efficiency and supply chain security. The vessels carry high value-added and temperature-sensitive goods from the Yangtze River Delta, such as energy storage cabinets, power batteries, and new energy vehicle components. Due to ice conditions, the route operates seasonally from July to October, with at least 8 voyages scheduled for this year. This logistics link supports growing trade, which reached $447.8 billion between China and the EU in the first half of 2026. According to CBS News, the Royal House of Liechtenstein has announced a historic shift in its succession laws, paving the way for a female monarch to inherit the throne in the future. Hereditary Prince Alois announced the change during his National Day speech, stating that the proposal was approved by the necessary two-thirds majority of voting family members. Under the newly adjusted House law, the principality's succession rules will transition from male preference primogeniture to absolute primogeniture. This means that the firstborn child of the reigning monarch will become the heir to the throne, regardless of whether they are male or female. While this reform represents a significant modernization for the traditionally conservative Alpine nation of 40,000, it is not expected to affect the immediate line of succession. Reigning Prince Hans Adam II, who handed over daily powers to his eldest son Alois in 2004, remains the head of state, and Prince Alois' eldest son, Prince Joseph Wenzel, remains next in line. Liechtenstein was the last European country to grant women the right to vote in 1984, and this change marks another step in its path toward gender equality. According to the state news agency Antara, Indonesia's Ministry of Communication and Digital Affairs, Komdigi, has requested that Apple and Google remove the Hornet application from their respective Indonesian app stores. The decision follows growing public concerns regarding the app's alleged association with LGBTIQ+ campaigns. Alexander Sabar, the Director General of Digital Space Supervision, confirmed that the ministry acted on community reports labeling Hornet as a gay social network. Additionally, Sabar pointed out a critical compliance issue. Hornet has never registered as an electronic system provider in Indonesia, which is a mandatory requirement for any digital platform operating in the country. He emphasized that all digital platforms catering to the Indonesian public must operate responsibly and strictly adhere to local values, norms, and electronic regulations. Komdigi remains committed to monitoring digital spaces and responding to public reports to maintain a safe online environment. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.